Hey there everyone and welcome back to the React.js training, and I hope you are enjoying this project so far. We are working on to something very cool so far. So in case you are enjoying the series, don't forget to rate us. Your kind words are always helpful. So now let's go into the questions and let's just delete everything in here. We don't want these things. So basically what we need in here is going to be a simple division. Obviously you might have already guessed that. So there we go. We do have a division there. Now in the division, we're going to create a form there. And first of all, we're going to just print a h2 message somewhat. And then we are going to create a form, which is going to have a lot of radio buttons from which user can choose answers. So let's quickly write an h2 tag there because already h1 is being taken. So h2, and there we go. We are going to say some message like, here are some questions. Oops, what this autocomplete is doing with me. Here are some questions, and there we go. So this is good. Now we need a form. So let's give it a form, and this form is going to be pretty easy so far. And there we go, form. Now obviously when the form is submitted, we want to trigger a method or a function, and as soon as some object is being selected, we want to trigger a method again. So we need to create two more methods. We'll create them on the go. Right now it's completely okay. So I'll go inside the form and I'll again create a division so that I can later on copy and paste that, save us some time. And we're gonna have a simple div there, and there we go. Now this div is gonna have a class name, and I have already created that class name, that is of name card. And as I save this shouldn't display on the screen, just a card there, blank card, but it looks good, And let's go into this division now. And this division is first of all gonna have a label. And there we go, let's have a label. There we go, fixed it. And let's ask our very first question, which is very important for me at least. What kind of courses you like the most? And obviously you like mostly the technical kind of courses, but again, not judging you on that. So let's give it a BR, and there we go. Looks good. So it should display something on the screen, and there we go. What kind of courses you like the most? Okay. Now we need an input tag. Okay. So let's have a simple input there. Now this input tag is going to have a lot of things. Now the very first thing that it's going to have is going to be type. Obviously we want a radio type of buttons there. And it's going to have a name as well. The name is going to be simply answer 1 because we have already created an object answers, and it has got answer 1, 2, and 3. So the answer 1 is going to be there. Now right now its value is going to be equal to technology because we'll be giving 3 options there, technology, and we don't want to do anything in here. We'll be just making it a self-closing tag of the input, and we'll be writing a technology there. Okay, looks good. And as I go in here, we can choose this. Now let's go and also do one thing. Now as soon as somebody clicks on this guy, we should be running a method there. So that method will be running on change. So let's just give it. And as soon as somebody says on change, we are gonna do one more thing, one more time that you hate the most is using the function before you define it. So let's just do it again. This dot answer selected. Okay, that looks good. And copy that. And by the way, you might be thinking, hey, why this guy always says that some people hate it. Actually, some people have actually emailed me that yes, we do hate this kind of approach, and we do hate it. So that is why I'm mentioning it again and again, because if somebody is taking time to do this, then really he's really pissed off. So this dot answer selected is now being binded there, and we would like to define it at the top. So just below the name submit, I guess this is the closing block. Yep, this is. Let's just define that. And we won't be doing anything in here right now. I think we are just ready and good to go. Yep, ready and good to go. Let's go in here at the bottom where we have input tag. I know this is a long screen, but we won't be bothering much about it. We just want to press Command Shift D and D. So again, this input type NV radio, and notice we are just gonna name it as answer 1 because answer 1 is just gonna have just one value. Okay, a pretty basic CSS, but the value is gonna be changed. Let's just call it as design because I love design course as well, and there can be marketing courses as well. I would love to learn about the marketing, but I don't have time for that. And every time when the change is being made, we are calling answer selected, and let's just change these options as well, otherwise it would be injustice. So marketing, save that, and this should give us 1. We can only select either one of them. That looks pretty solid. Okay, that is good so far. And we could have just got or we could have just simply console log there by using answer selected. In fact, I'll give you a simple assignment to just use the event again, and in the event you'll be getting event dot target dot value. So whatever the value you are getting in the answer 1, just try to print that out. Okay, right now I would like to finish this up, my division, because I think that would be much better approach if we could do that in just one video. Let's just try our very favorite copy and pasting. So I'll copy this division and I would like to paste that again, and this time we're going to ask something else. What should we ask? So let's ask about, is he going to be a learner, or maybe kind of looking for a job or things like that. Okay, so let's just ask in here. Oops, let me select that again, and I'll say you are a, and simply he's going to answer. Now again we'll be using 2, save that, and this is going to be value of, let's just go for first of all student, high chances there, and maybe he might be in job or maybe looking for job. So we'll be saying, oops, looking job, and rest of the things looks good. We just want to copy and paste that again, paste that, copy and paste that. There is no harm in copy and pasting. In fact, a lot of programmer does that to save some good amount of time. And paste that, save that, and notice how our cards are looking beautiful. We can close this. So notice how every answer is being separate. I know this could have been much better CSS there, but we'll just work with that. Copy this guy again, paste that. We just need 3 there. So let's just change that with a 3. And the third question that we'll be looking for is online learning helpful? Obviously it is. Very affordable courses with tons of content, anytime accessible. But again, people may differ with me. So I'll say yes, I'll say no, and I'll say maybe. I always surprised why people say maybe, but maybe. So let's just say yes, no, and maybe. Save that, and surprisingly we have done it pretty quickly there. Okay, now let's go back in here. Now the last thing that we require in here is the submit. Okay, so we'll be staying inside the form, and just below the closing form we're gonna have an input there. And this input is again going to have a simple class name, which I have already created. It's actually feedback button, and it's going to be simply a type of submit, and its value is also going to be submit. And let's make it a self-closing. Looks good, and we can see a lovely and very beautiful button. Notice the shadows and everything. Really worked hard on this button. Somebody, it's not my code actually, obviously looked on the internet and modified according to me. So there we go, we are good to go. Now one last thing before we proceed on to the next video is gonna be something like this. So what we'll be doing in here is, as soon as the form is being submitted, we're gonna look for when the form is gonna be submitted, and just at the top of this form in here, and go and look for the event that says on submit. So as soon as the form is being submitted, we are gonna run a message, and again this dot question submit. So this is the method we are looking for. There is a typo. I'll fix that, and I'll copy this, and I'll go in here, this dot bind very quickly. We are just cruising through over it, and as soon as I do that, save that, it's gonna yell us at, and I'll go in here and I'll just enter that, cruising through over it, and I'll quickly leave a to do for me. To do, it's a very basic habit of programmers to do that, and work on this, and we're gonna leave a quick comment on this as well. To do, basically the comment should be much more meaningful, but I'll just say work on this too. Save that. So now looks like everything is almost ready for us. We have just one more page to go through when the questions are also submitted and saved, and is submitted is being changed to true. So we'll be doing that is when the questions are being submitted. We need to work out on our final condition, which is when the questions are submitted and when the name is saved as well. But I think we are just moving over 11 minutes now, so we should do it on the next video. So let's go there.